They were taken from villages, stolen from battlefields, bought, sold, and forgotten. Behind the glittering palaces and mighty armies of the Ottoman Empire was a vast slave network that powered its courts, economy, even its royal bloodlines. This is the untold story of the Ottoman slave trade and the millions who lived and died in silence. We often imagine the Ottoman Empire as a world of sultans, harems, and grand conquests. But hidden behind that power was a system that trafficked human lives across 3 continents, from the shores of Africa to the Black Sea, from the Balkans to the Arabian deserts. The empire ran on slavery, legal, organized, and brutally efficient. The slave trade was not a side operation. It was deeply woven into Ottoman society from its earliest days. Under Sultan Mehmed II, slavery was formalized as a state-supported institution. The Ottomans didn't just tolerate slavery, they depended on it. By the 16th century, an estimated 1 in every 5 people in Istanbul was a slave. But this wasn't one single system. There were layers: military slaves, harem concubines, field laborers, eunuchs, and child servants. Each group was treated differently, and none were free. So, where did they come from? Slaves came from many routes, each one horrifying. 1. The Black Sea route. Circassians, Georgians, and Ukrainians, especially women, were captured or sold by local warlords. Many were destined for the imperial harem. 2. The Balkan route. Boys were taken from Christian families through the devshirme system, trained to become janissaries, elite soldiers who served the Sultan. Though technically converted slaves, they rose to great power, but their families had no say. Chapter 3. The African route. Men, women, and children were taken from the Sudan and the Horn of Africa. Many served as household servants or were castrated and turned into eunuchs to serve in the palace. The Arabian and Eastern route. Arabs, Persians, and Central Asians were also enslaved and sold in markets from Cairo to Baghdad. Slave markets, known as Esir Pazara, existed in Istanbul, Bursa, Cairo, and Damascus. They were public, regulated, and heavily taxed, meaning the empire profited from every human sold. Inside Topkapi Palace, slavery took its most complex form. The imperial harem, often romanticized, was entirely composed of female slaves. They were brought in as young girls, trained in language, music, and court politics. Those who pleased the Sultan rose in power. Some, like Hürrem Sultan, Roxolana, even became legal wives and queen mothers. But many were never seen again. Guarding them were the black eunuchs, slaves themselves. Castrated and cut off from their own pasts, they controlled the most intimate space in the empire, yet had no family, no legacy, no return. Yes, but only for a few. Some concubines who bore the Sultan's children were freed and given titles. Some janissaries climbed ranks and ruled provinces. But for most, slavery was a life sentence. Even freed slaves carried the stigma of their past. Many were buried in separate cemeteries, their names lost to time. The Ottoman Empire saw itself as a civilization of law and order, yet its greatness was built, in part, on the backs of those who had no rights at all. Millions served, suffered, and disappeared in silence. Not enemies, not soldiers, just human beings, caught in a system too vast to escape. But among these forgotten souls, some rose to power, changed the empire, and even shaped its royal bloodlines. In the next episode, we'll uncover the story of Hürrem Sultan, a former slave girl who became the most powerful woman in Ottoman history.